gushing fountains of lava. This volcano on the Reykjanes Peninsula has been erupting since late Monday. The eruption is slowly losing steam, but the situation here is still dramatic and potentially dangerous. Scientists say it may take days, weeks, or even months till it stops.
It's slowly getting more quiet, but it might last a long time, might last a short time, who knows. But it's just in time for Christmas. And hopefully it will just stay like this or stop, because this could affect some infrastructure. So hopefully it will not do that.
The nearly 4,000 residents evacuated from the nearby town of Grindavik share those hopes. But some are still excited to see nature put on a spectacular show.
Coming today, getting the chance to be behind Sirlingahöll and being so close to it, and being able to fly the drone like literally 10 meters away, it's an amazing feeling.
The volcano doesn't pose any immediate danger to the population, but scientists warn that it could change. If the eruption continues for too long, it could potentially affect air quality, with fumes being able to reach Iceland's capital Reykjavik. It could also pose the threat to property if lava flows far enough to reach residential areas.
Journalist Ingo Sigfusson joins us from the Icelandic capital, Reykjavik. Considering that this volcanic activity is starting to subside, what are scientists now expecting?
Well, this morning we had at least a few of them telling us that they wouldn't be surprised if it was over and done with by Christmas, so in just a few days' time, which would be unusual given that this is the fourth eruption in a row in this area, and this is by far the most powerful one, or at least it was at the start. It has waned, as you mentioned. It's gone down in power by at least 3/4. It has also gone from a almost 4-kilometer long fissure down to a few craters. It has spread across a few hundred meters. So it's certainly a lot less powerful. The big question that remains is, has this depleted the magma that had been gathering somewhere down below? Is it getting rid of the tension that had obviously built down below? Or does this mean that we will have to deal with another eruption somewhere along the same lines in a few days, weeks, months' time?
So what are the dangers that continue?
Well, I mean, one comes from, as your piece mentioned, from the air quality. If this goes on for a while, of course, magma isn't the only thing, or lava isn't the only coming up. It's various gases that can be toxic, certainly to the tourists that are there and shouldn't be there. But also here, 20, 40 kilometers away in Reykjavik, probably less of a danger in wintertime when we have certainly more powerful winds. But in summertime, we've had these eruptions in summertime. It can get a little smoggy up here because of the stuff coming out of these volcanoes. Also, as the piece mentioned, there's infrastructure close by. There's a power plant, there's power lines, there's also water mains for this area. If the lava hits those, that would cause serious problems in the dead of winter in Iceland. So far, it seems that we've certainly dodged the bullet, at least so far. But if this subsides quickly, the question arises, will it start somewhere in a worse place soon?
You mentioned the tourists who are hanging around or trying to get up close. Residents well aware that they need to evacuate the area and had done so weeks ago. Tell us more about Iceland's actual warning systems, how they work.
Right. Well, we have, of course, a very volcanically active island. Iceland is basically the result of volcanic eruptions through tens of thousands of years. And that much we have known for quite a while. All around Iceland where we expect these things to happen, there are gadgets that are measuring anything from GPS movement to whatever may be coming out of the earth in terms of say, gases. We also have satellites that monitor what is happening down below even. And of course, teams of very smart scientists who tell us what to make of the data. Yet, even then, in this area, we hadn't had an eruption in the Reykjanes Peninsula for 800 years. In this particular area, where we have the eruption now in Sundhnúkagígar, if you need something to try to pronounce, we haven't had this happen for 2,000 years. So we don't have a lot of modern data to work with that could help us. that is sort of the tricky part, really, to make to know what to make of the data when you don't really have precedent. You don't know what the data is perhaps telling you to some extent.
And after Eyjafjallajökull, I've been trying to stay away from trying to pronounce those tricky names.
Eyjafjallajökull.
There we
The
go.
death of every journalist in everywhere. Perfect. Well, try this. Sundhnúkagígar.
Oh,
It's even better.
I find it hard enough just to get your name right. Ingo Sigfússon, thank you very much for your reporting.
My pleasure.